Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at BrickHeadz set number 40549. This is the Demogorgon and 11 BrickHeadz. So 11 is BrickHeadz number 157 and the Demogorgon is number 156. This is of course from Stranger Things, and this set has 172 pieces and is meant for ages 16 and up. That age rating is based from the content of the show and not necessarily the difficulty of the build. It's really, these are the same as any 10 plus BrickHeadz, whatever the age of an average BrickHeadz set is. The construction of these sets are the exact same. It's just, I guess, the content in the show, they decide to give this set a 16 plus rating, which I believe the upside down set was given as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm guessing it was as well. So this BrickHeadz set is based from season 1 of the show. I just began watching the show last week, actually, for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. I honestly just fell in love with the show. I really liked the characters and just everything about it. Now today actually I'm going to finish season 3 and begin season 4, so I'm quite excited to do that. But taking a look at these BrickHeadz, I think they are really good. As much as human BrickHeadz aren't necessarily my favorite, as I do find they're overall pretty plain, just like in circumstances like the recently or somewhat recently revealed Darth Vader and Obi-Wan BrickHeadz from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. I love the Vader, but the Obi-Wan is not necessarily interesting, to me at least. And here, the 11, as much as I think it's a great representation of the character from the first season, I just don't find human BrickHeadz necessarily the most interesting of builds. Whereas the Demogorgon here I think is really cool. I really like the open mouth and all the elements here that you think would be prints or stickers. They are all prints. There's no stickers in this set. I'm really not sure if they've had stickers in BrickHeadz before. They probably have, but in this case all of the prints are prints, they're not stickers. So those prints come in where you see the Demogorgon's teeth, and then the front of 11, the shirt that you can see underneath the blue jacket. So starting with 11 here, she has the short brown hair. I think it would have been interesting maybe if they included like a blonde wig that could be easily attached and detached from the 11 BrickHeadz, but that probably would have added a lot of bulk to it where you'd probably not want that, and you would just want it, instead of the brown hair, have the blonde hair. So maybe added parts to the instructions to construct that. That might have been something they could have added here that would have been interesting. Another thing that they could have added, I think, to this BrickHead is the bottom plate here. This bottom plate in tan, I think would have been an interesting plate to have a bit of blood right there. Now, of course, it's blood. That's something they don't tend to include in Lego sets. But I would say it's a pretty big part of the show. I'm not 100% sure on the 11 minifigure from the Upside Down set and whether she had a face print like that or not. But I know they've included splotches of blood before on like minifigure torsos and stuff. So I don't know, that would have just been an interesting thing, but thinking about it now, it makes sense why they didn't include it, given that they just don't tend to have parts like that in the set. So the print there on the front of the BrickHeadz is nice. She's got the blue jacket there, a waffle print, obviously meant to represent the Eggos there, and another clipped hand right there that you could either attach the extra Eggo that comes in this set or just something else entirely. Her feet there, she's got like shoes there using different 1x2 plates stacked on top of each other, and then the base you just see like the BrickHeadz head design. One thing that I do just kind of wish it was more of a common place in BrickHeadz is that the bases would have printing on them. Whether that was the number of the BrickHead or the name of the character. I just wish there were little prints on it that just could add something to these BrickHeadz. I think they're overall good sets. BrickHeadz aren't necessarily my favorite, but in this case, where it's a show I've really enjoyed the last week, and I just kind of wanted the Lego set that was out, and of course in this case it's only this and a keychain. And when the rumor came back a few months ago, probably near a year ago now, that there would be more Stranger Things sets, I know it was the BrickHeadz set and then the keychain, which have already released, and I thought there might have been a bit of more stuff coming, so whether that comes out this year or next year or not even at all, I am hoping that we see more sets from this theme. Not the whole theme, but just one set, maybe a D2C. I know there's lots of options here. Starcourt Mall would be cool. Season 4 sets. Like, there's lots of options here, and I think this is a good BrickHeadz set and a good addition to the Stranger Things theme. So taking a look at my favorite part of this set, the Demogorgon, I think it's really good. There's uses of like ladder pieces there to add some more texture to the Demogorgon. I really like the shaping here using these curved pieces, and overall it just looks really good. I think it's a well representation of the Demogorgon in Lego form. Those are of course all prints on those shield pieces to represent the teeth, and then you have some brick built teeth in the center there. You can sort of bring these down a bit if you kind of want to close the Demogorgon's mouth. It doesn't work great, but it is there as an option if you want to have that. I really do like this this set. I don't know what else they could have done as a pairing of BrickHeadz. Of course, I would have loved a Steve and Dustin. I think that would have been really cool, and maybe is something we can see in the future. I guess Joyce and Hopper, Mike and Eleven, of course, Max and Lucas. There's so many options for dual BrickHeadz sets, but I think this one really does make sense, especially for Season 1 set, to have 11 and the Demogorgon, two pretty big parts of the early parts of the show. So before I go into my final thoughts on this set, I'll take a look at the box and then of course go to my final thoughts. So here is the box of this set. You have the two BrickHeadz just displayed on there. One thing about BrickHeadz is I don't love the boxes all that much, just because generally you can't really place them into the scene, whereas you see like a playset, it's more placed into a backdrop and it looks fine, whereas these just kind of stand out in a background. So you have the Stranger Things logo there, 11, and the Demogorgon with their number for which BrickHeadz they are, all the set information, and then in the background you have a bunch of trees. I'm guessing just like some Hawkins forest trees there. You have some of the one of the elements there, the printed shield piece, and then the BrickHeadz on their bases and being taken on and off their bases. I think this box is overall nice. You have the actual in-universe characters there. You've got 11 and the Demogorgon, and I think this box is overall good. The BrickHeadz boxes aren't necessarily my favorite, but I do think this is, it shows what you're getting in this set pretty well, which overall is what you want with a box. So the box I think is good. Now I'm just going to my final thoughts of this set. So I think this is a good set. I think it's a good choice for the BrickHeadz. I like how they're built. I think the 11, even though it's not necessarily super interesting, is a good BrickHeadz and a good representation of the character. I really like the Demogorgon and honestly wouldn't mind that of just being a set by its own, but I think this dual pack is a good idea, and if they're not going to make more, whether it's a playset, a larger D2C, whatever it might be, And if they don't make any sets like that in the future for the series, I wouldn't mind seeing more of these dual BrickHeadz packs like I had mentioned before. I really like this set. I believe this is a $25 set. I'm not sure if that is increasing with the price increases coming in August or September, and if it was, it wouldn't be that much. It'd probably be around $5, making this like a $30 set. And given the price right now, I think this is a good set. Of course, I'm pretty sure a single BrickHeadz is either $12 or $13. It might even be $15. I'm not 100% sure. And if it is $15, then this is a decent deal on that part. But I think this is a good set. I wouldn't mind seeing the Demogorgon by itself. I think there's some additions you could have added to 11 to make the character a little more interesting, whether it was a bit of blood right there for the face that you could swap out, or being added instructions to swap out like a blonde wig. There's multiple things that I think could be added to 11, but I think the Demogorgon is really good, and I think this is a really good set. I'd for sure recommend it if you enjoy the show, especially given that this is really the only set you can get right now. Of course, there's the Upside Down, there's that Castle Buyers promo, and if you want to go even higher, if you got that Barb minifigure. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've really enjoyed this series, and I'm excited to watch more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.